think relaxation is laziness. You've been told that manifestation requires force, constant action, grinding until you collapse. But what if everything you've been taught is backwards? What if the secret to getting what you want isn't in pushing harder, but in letting go completely? That's what the Stoics understood thousands of years ago, and it's what I'm about to show you. Desperation repels everything you desire. Picture someone clinging to a relationship, suffocating their partner with neediness. What happens? The other person runs. Or imagine chasing money with frantic energy, making decisions from scarcity and fear. You don't attract wealth that way. You push it further away. This isn't mystical thinking, it's observable reality. When you operate from a state of tension and desperation, you broadcast that energy into every choice you make. Your body language changes. Your decision-making becomes reactive instead of strategic. People sense it. Opportunities sense it. The Stoics called this concept apatheia, which doesn't mean not caring. It means freedom from destructive emotions. Marcus Aurelius ruled the Roman Empire while maintaining inner peace because he understood a truth most people never grasp. Control what you can control. Release what you can't. Your job isn't to force outcomes, it's to align yourself properly and allow things to unfold. Think about water for a second. It doesn't fight its way downstream. It finds the path of least resistance and flows naturally around obstacles. Yet given enough time, water carves through mountains. That's the power of relaxed persistence versus desperate force. You're probably thinking this sounds passive, like giving up. Wrong. There's a massive difference between surrender and strategic detachment. Surrender means quitting. Detachment means staying committed to your vision while releasing your grip on exactly how and when it arrives. Here's what actually happens when you relax. Your nervous system shifts out of fight or flight mode. In that stressed state, your prefrontal cortex literally shuts down. That's the part of your brain responsible for creativity, problem solving, and seeing opportunities. When you're relaxed, your brain opens up. You notice things you missed before. Connections form. Solutions appear seemingly out of nowhere. But they were always there. You were just too tense to see them. I spent 3 years forcing a business idea that wasn't working. Every day felt like pushing a boulder uphill. I told myself persistence was the answer. Keep grinding, work harder, sleep less. Then one afternoon, exhausted and defeated, I stopped. Not permanently, just for a day. I went for a walk without my phone, sat by a lake, and let my mind wander. Within an hour, a completely different approach to the same problem emerged. Not from thinking harder, but from thinking less. The solution came through the space I created by relaxing. Epictetus taught that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Read that again. Most of your stress isn't about what's actually happening right now. It's about stories you're telling yourself about the future. What if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I'm not good enough? These thoughts create tension in your body. That tension clouds your judgment and blocks the very outcomes you're chasing. When you relax, you're not ignoring reality. You're seeing it clearly for the first time without the distortion of fear. Let's get practical. Tomorrow morning, you wake up with a goal. Maybe it's landing a client, improving a relationship, or making progress on a project. The desperate approach is to immediately start forcing. Send 10 emails before breakfast. Have the difficult conversation from a place of anxiety. Rush the creative process because you're scared of running out of time. This energy guarantees poor results. The relaxed approach looks different. You wake up and center yourself first. Maybe that's 5 minutes of breathing exercises. Maybe it's a quiet cup of coffee where you visualize the outcome without attachment to the timeline. Then you take action, but from a place of calm certainty rather than frantic fear. Notice I said you still take action. Relaxation isn't passivity, it's power. When a master archer draws the bow, there's immense strength in the pull, but the release is effortless. That's the state you're aiming for. Maximum capability with minimum tension. You've seen this in athletes during clutch moments. The ones who perform best aren't the ones trying hardest. They're the ones who've trained intensely but can access a relaxed flow state when it matters most. Same principle applies to your goals. The universe, life, whatever you want to call it, responds to your energetic state more than your actions. Two people can take identical steps toward the same goal. One does it from desperation, the other from relaxed confidence. Different results every time. Why? Because desperation makes you blind to feedback. You miss signals telling you to adjust course. You ignore red flags because you're too invested in one specific outcome. Relaxation gives you peripheral vision. You stay flexible. You adapt. Seneca wrote that nothing is burdensome if taken lightly. Your goals aren't heavy. Your attachment to them is what creates the weight. When you learn to hold your desires with an open hand instead of a clenched fist, something shifts. You stop being a beggar hoping life will throw you scraps. You become someone who knows their value and trusts the process. That shift is everything. So what does this mean for manifestation? It means your primary job isn't visualizing harder or working longer hours. It's cultivating the internal state that allows what you want to come to you. That state is relaxed certainty. You know it's coming. You're taking aligned action, but you're not strangling the outcome with desperation. This creates a magnetic quality that desperate energy never will. But here's where most people get stuck. They confuse relaxation with complacency. They think letting go means stopping effort entirely. That's not what this means at all. Letting go of attachment doesn't mean you sit on your couch waiting for miracles. It means you act without the energy of neediness. Huge difference. You're still putting in the work. You're still showing up every day, but you're doing it from a completely different place internally. Think of it like planting a garden. You prepare the soil, you plant the seeds, you water them consistently, but you don't dig them up every 6 hours to check if they're growing. That would destroy them. You trust the process. You do your part, then you step back and let nature do its part. That's relaxed action. You're engaged but not controlling, present but not obsessed. There's a concept in Taoism called Wu Wei. It translates to effortless action or action through inaction. It's not about doing nothing. It's about aligning yourself so completely with the natural flow of things that your actions feel effortless. You're working with the current instead of against it. When you're desperate, you're swimming upstream against massive resistance. When you're relaxed, you're riding the wave. Same destination, completely different experience. Here's what shifted for me personally. I spent years grinding myself into the ground for my goals, working 18-hour days, sacrificing sleep, telling myself that rest was for the weak. And you know what I got? Burnout, anxiety, results that felt hollow because I was too exhausted to enjoy them. Then I experimented with something radical. I decided to work fewer hours but with complete presence. I added daily meditation. I started treating relaxation as a strategic tool, not a luxury. My output didn't decrease, it skyrocketed. Why? Because I was finally working with my natural energy instead of constantly fighting it. The quality of my decisions improved dramatically because I wasn't making them from a place of panic. I could see opportunities I'd been blind to before because my nervous system wasn't constantly flooded with stress hormones. Your body isn't designed to operate in survival mode 24/7. When you're chronically stressed, your prefrontal cortex literally shuts down. That's the part of your brain responsible for complex thinking, creativity, and long-term planning. Everything you need to actually achieve your goals. Desperation keeps you stuck in your reptilian brain. Fight or flight. React and survive. That's not the state that builds empires or creates breakthroughs. Relaxation brings you back online. Suddenly you can think clearly again. You can strategize. You can see the bigger picture. Most people are trying to build their dream life with half their mental capacity offline. Then they wonder why progress feels so hard. It's like trying to run a marathon with a parachute strapped to your back. The parachute is your stress. Cut it loose and watch what happens. Now I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds great in theory, but I have real deadlines, real bills, real pressure. How am I supposed to relax when everything feels urgent? Fair question. The answer isn't to ignore reality, it's to change your relationship with it. When everything feels urgent, nothing actually is. Urgency is often a story we tell ourselves, not an objective truth. Yes, you have responsibilities. Yes, there are consequences to inaction. But most of the pressure you feel is self-imposed. It's coming from your own mind, not from external circumstances. Try this experiment. Next time you feel that crushing sense of urgency, pause. Write down what you're actually afraid will happen if you don't act immediately. Be specific. Then ask yourself, is this fear based on evidence or assumption? 9 times out of 10, you'll realize you're catastrophizing. You're imagining worst-case scenarios that are highly unlikely. This recognition alone deflates half the pressure. What's left is usually manageable, maybe even simple. The problem was never the situation. It was your interpretation of it. Marcus Aurelius said that the things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. If your thoughts are constantly frantic and fearful, that's the reality you experience. If you train your mind to stay calm and centered, even difficult situations become workable. This isn't positive thinking nonsense. It's practical philosophy backed by neuroscience. Your brain doesn't distinguish between real threats and imagined ones. If you're constantly telling yourself you're behind, you're failing, you're not enough, your body responds as if that's literally true. Cortisol floods your system. Your heart rate increases, your digestion shuts down. All because of a story. Change the story. Change your physiology. Change your physiology. Change your results. So how do you actually cultivate this relaxed state while still pursuing ambitious goals? It starts with separating your identity from your outcomes. You are not your success. You are not your failure. You are the awareness that experiences both. When you win, celebrate. When you lose, learn. But don't attach your entire sense of self-worth to either. This creates space. You can pursue your goals passionately without them becoming life or death battles for your ego. You can take risks without them feeling like existential threats. You can fail and bounce back quickly because your foundation remains unshaken. Most people never achieve this. They stay on the emotional roller coaster, sky high when things go well, crushed when they don't. That volatility is exhausting and unsustainable. The alternative is building an internal stability that external circumstances can't touch. That's real power. That's what allows you to play the long game while everyone else burns out chasing short-term validation. Here's your practical roadmap for building that stability. Start with your morning. The first hour after you wake up sets the tone for everything that follows. Most people immediately check their phone, flooding their nervous system with other people's problems, demands, and opinions before they've even established their own center. That's like opening every window in your house during a storm and wondering why everything's a mess. Protect that first hour like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Use it to ground yourself. Maybe that's meditation, maybe it's exercise, maybe it's simply sitting with coffee in silence. The activity matters less than the intention behind it. You're telling your nervous system that you control the day, not the other way around. You're building a foundation of calm before the chaos arrives. And it will arrive, that's guaranteed. But you'll meet it from a place of strength instead of reactivity. Next, build in buffer time. One of the biggest sources of stress is overscheduling. We pack our calendars like we're machines, then feel overwhelmed when human limitations show up. Traffic delays us. Conversations run long. Unexpected problems emerge. This isn't bad luck, it's reality. If you schedule back-to-back obligations with zero margin for error, you're engineering your own anxiety. The solution is simple, but most people resist it. Leave space between commitments. Build in transition time. Under-promise and over-deliver instead of the reverse. This feels counterintuitive in a culture that glorifies busy. You might worry you'll accomplish less. The opposite is true. When you're constantly rushing, your quality drops. You make mistakes. You miss details. You burn relationships by being perpetually late or distracted. The person with margin operates differently. They arrive early. They're present in conversations. They catch problems before they escalate. They produce higher quality work because they're not functioning in constant emergency mode. Who do you think goes further in the long run? Here's another non-negotiable practice. Learn to say no without guilt. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that matters. Your time and energy are finite resources. Treating them like they're infinite is the fastest path to burnout and resentment. Most people struggle with this because they equate saying no with being selfish or letting others down. But consider this angle. When you say yes to things you don't actually want to do, you're being dishonest. You're building relationships and commitments on false pretenses. That's not kindness. That's cowardice dressed up as politeness. Real integrity means aligning your actions with your values. If something doesn't serve your goals, your growth, or your genuine desire to help, declining it is the honest response. You're not obligated to justify or explain. A simple "I can't commit to that right now" is complete. People respect clarity. What they don't respect is half-hearted participation or flaky behavior because you overcommitted. Which brings us to boundaries. Relaxed people have strong boundaries. Stressed people have weak ones. Those weak boundaries mean constant interruptions, other people's emergencies becoming your emergencies, and your priorities getting buried under everyone else's agendas. Setting boundaries isn't mean. It's necessary. It's deciding in advance what you will and won't tolerate, what deserves your attention and what doesn't, when you'll be available and when you won't. Then communicating those decisions calmly and holding them consistently. Will some people push back? Absolutely, especially if they've benefited from your lack of boundaries. That pushback is information. It tells you who respects you and who was just using you. The ones who matter will adjust. The ones who don't will filter themselves out. Either way, you win. Now let's talk about something most productivity advice ignores. Rest isn't optional. It's not something you earn after you've accomplished enough. It's a fundamental requirement for sustained high performance. Your body and mind need recovery cycles. Without them, you're not being disciplined. You're being reckless. Elite athletes understand this instinctively. They know that gains happen during rest, not during training. Training creates the stimulus. Rest allows adaptation. Push without recovery and you break down. The same principle applies to knowledge work. Your best ideas don't emerge while you're grinding. They show up in the shower, during walks, right before sleep. That's when your subconscious processes everything you've been working on. But if you never give it space, that processing can't happen. You stay stuck on the surface level, so schedule rest with the same intentionality you schedule work. Take real breaks where you're not checking email or thinking about projects. Take actual days off. Go on walks without podcasts. Create space for boredom. That's where creativity lives. The constant stimulation most people subject themselves to isn't productivity. It's avoidance. They're afraid of what they might feel or think if they actually stop. But those feelings and thoughts, they contain the insights you need. Running from them means running from your own wisdom. Here's what nobody tells you about relaxation. It's a skill, not a personality trait. Some people aren't naturally calm any more than some people are naturally good at piano. But anyone can learn. It requires practice. Deliberate, consistent practice. Start small. Can you sit for 5 minutes without reaching for distraction? Can you eat a meal without your phone? Can you have a conversation without planning your next response while the other person is talking? These micro moments of presence compound. They rewire your default state from anxious to aware, from reactive to responsive. The transformation isn't dramatic. You won't suddenly become a different person. But gradually you'll notice you're handling situations that used to derail you. You're recovering faster from setbacks. You're making clearer decisions under pressure. That shift changes everything else. You stop seeing challenges as threats. You start seeing them as information. Someone criticizes your work. Instead of spiraling into defensiveness, you pause and extract what's useful. A project fails. Rather than catastrophizing, you analyze what went wrong and adjust. This isn't suppressing emotions, it's processing them efficiently instead of drowning in them. most stress comes from resistance. You want reality to be different than it is. Traffic should move faster. People should be more considerate. Your boss should recognize your effort. That word "should" is killing you. It creates constant friction between what is and what you think should be. Drop the should. Accept what is. Then decide what you're going to do about it. That acceptance isn't resignation. It's the foundation for effective action. You can't change anything until you stop arguing with reality. Consider your morning routine. Most people wake up already behind. They hit snooze 3 times, then rush through everything in a panic. Skipped breakfast, frantic commute, arriving at work already depleted. That's not a routine. That's chaos with a schedule. A real routine creates momentum. It's a series of small decisions made in advance so your willpower isn't drained before the day begins. What time you wake up, what you do first, how you move your body, what you put in it. These aren't trivial details. They set your baseline state for everything that follows. But here's where most people go wrong. They try to overhaul everything at once. They want to wake at 5, meditate for an hour, journal, exercise, eat a perfect breakfast, and read for 30 minutes. All starting tomorrow. That lasts about 4 days. Then they're back to chaos, now with added guilt about failing their ambitious plan. Instead, pick one thing, one small adjustment that improves your morning. Maybe it's drinking water before coffee. Maybe it's 10 minutes of movement. Maybe it's simply not checking your phone for the first 30 minutes. Do that one thing consistently for a month. Let it become automatic. Then add something else. Sustainable change is boring. It doesn't make good content. Nobody's inspired by someone who added 5 minutes of stretching to their morning. But that person 6 months later has transformed their entire baseline, while everyone else is still cycling through dramatic overhauls that never stick. Your environment shapes you more than you realize. If your space is cluttered, your mind mirrors that clutter. If your phone buzzes every 30 seconds, your attention fractures. If you're surrounded by people who complain constantly, you'll start complaining. You're not a passive victim of your environment. You're responsible for designing it. What's in your immediate physical space? Does it support the person you're trying to become or undermine them? Your desk, your bedroom, your car. These spaces either drain you or energize you. There's no neutral. Same with digital environment. What's on your phone's home screen? What notifications are enabled? What's the first thing you see when you open your laptop? Every one of these is a choice. Most people never consciously make these choices. They accept defaults, then wonder why they feel scattered. Let's talk about the people around you. This might sting, but you need to hear it. Some relationships are costing you more than they're worth. Not because those people are bad, but because the dynamic is broken. Maybe it's a friendship that's become one-sided. You're always the listener, never heard. Maybe it's a family member who treats you like you're still 16. Maybe it's colleagues who drag you into negativity spirals. You can't control their behavior, but you control your exposure. You control how much access they have. You control whether you continue participating in dynamics that drain you. Reducing contact doesn't require drama. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your peace. Relationships should add to your life, not subtract from it. If someone consistently leaves you feeling worse, that's data. Use it. This doesn't mean cutting everyone off and becoming isolated. It means being selective. Quality over quantity applies to relationships just as much as anything else. 3 solid friendships where there's mutual respect and genuine care beat 20 surface-level connections where nobody's really present. The people who matter will understand when you set boundaries. They'll respect your need for space or your different priorities. The ones who don't were never really on your team anyway. Now here's something that might surprise you. Relaxed people embrace discomfort. That sounds contradictory, but stay with me. They're not tense about being uncomfortable. They expect it. They know growth requires discomfort. New skills feel awkward. Hard conversations create tension. Challenging workouts hurt. But none of that is wrong. It's the process. Stressed people avoid discomfort, which paradoxically creates more stress. They procrastinate on difficult tasks, which means those tasks loom over everything. They avoid necessary conversations, which means resentment builds. They stay in comfort zones, which means stagnation and the anxiety that comes with wasted potential. Meanwhile, relaxed people lean into discomfort strategically. They have difficult conversations early. They tackle challenging work when their energy is highest. They do things that scare them because they know that's where growth lives. The discomfort is temporary. The growth compounds. Think about public speaking. Most people are terrified of it. So they avoid it, which means they never improve, which reinforces the fear. Someone who's learned to relax knows fear shows up regardless, but they speak anyway. The first time is brutal. The 10th time is merely uncomfortable. The 50th time feels natural. They didn't eliminate fear. They changed their relationship with it. That principle scales to everything: financial stress, career uncertainty, relationship problems, health scares. These things require actual solutions, not just better attitudes. But here's what relaxed people understand that others miss. Solving problems becomes exponentially easier when you're not paralyzed by anxiety about them. Stress clouds judgment. It makes small problems feel massive. It triggers reactive decisions instead of strategic ones. When you're calm, you see options you'd otherwise miss. You think more clearly. You communicate more effectively. You make better calls. So the goal isn't to pretend problems don't exist. It's to face them from a state of groundedness rather than panic. That shift alone changes outcomes. Let's address something practical. Sleep. You cannot be relaxed if you're chronically exhausted. Yet somehow sleep deprivation has become a badge of honor in certain circles. Entrepreneurs bragging about 4-hour nights. Students pulling all-nighters, parents wearing exhaustion like martyrdom. This is madness. Your brain literally requires sleep to function. Without it, everything degrades. Decision-making, emotional regulation, physical health, immune function, memory consolidation, everything. Relaxed people protect their sleep like it's sacred. Because it is, they don't sacrifice it for productivity theater. They understand that 8 hours of sleep followed by 6 hours of focused work beats 12 hours of exhausted grinding every single time. If your schedule doesn't allow adequate sleep, your schedule is broken. Fix it. Whatever you're sacrificing sleep for isn't worth the compounding damage. Same logic applies to nutrition. You're feeding a machine that runs on chemistry. Give it terrible fuel, it runs terribly. This isn't complicated. Whole foods, adequate protein, hydration, minimal processed garbage. You don't need a perfect diet, you need a decent one consistently. When your blood sugar is spiking and crashing all day, when you're dehydrated, when you're nutrient deficient, your nervous system stays activated. You feel stressed even when nothing stressful is happening. It's physiological. Movement matters too. Not necessarily intense exercise, though that has its place. Just regular movement throughout your day. Walking, stretching, anything that prevents you from being sedentary for hours straight. Sitting motionless while staring at screens keeps your body in a weird limbo state. Your mind is active, but your body isn't moving. That disconnect creates tension. 20 minutes of walking does more for stress reduction than most people realize. Here's where this all comes together. Being relaxed isn't about adding more. It's about removing what doesn't serve you and optimizing what remains. Most people's lives are cluttered with obligations they never consciously chose, relationships they've outgrown, habits they inherited without questioning, and beliefs about how things should be that create constant friction. Audit everything. Your calendar, your commitments, your possessions, your digital consumption, your relationships, your habits. Ask one question about each thing. Does this add to my life or take from it? If something doesn't clearly add value, it's probably costing you. Cut it. Not someday. Now. Every week you delay is another week of unnecessary stress. People worry about missing out, but what are you missing out on by staying stuck in patterns that drain you? What opportunities are you blind to because you're overwhelmed? What relationships could deepen if you had actual energy for them? The life you want isn't on the other side of doing more. It's on the other side of doing less, better. One more thing that separates relaxed people from everyone else. They've made peace with uncertainty. They know control is mostly illusion. You can influence outcomes, but you can't guarantee them. You can prepare, but you can't predict everything. Stressed people fight this reality. They try to control the uncontrollable. They create backup plans for their backup plans. They ruminate endlessly about what might go wrong. This doesn't make them safer, it makes them exhausted. Relaxed people accept that life is inherently uncertain. Things will go wrong sometimes. Unexpected problems will emerge. Plans will fall apart. That's not a bug, that's the system. Fighting it is like being angry at gravity, so they focus on what they control. Their responses, their preparation, their resilience. The rest, they let it unfold. Not because they don't care, but because they understand that worry doesn't prevent problems, it just makes you suffer twice. Think about how much mental energy you spend on things you cannot control. Other people's opinions, past mistakes, future possibilities, economic conditions, political situations, what someone might think. What could go wrong? All that energy is wasted. Completely, it changes nothing except your stress level. Redirect it. Put that energy toward what you can actually influence. Your skills, your health, your relationships with people who matter, your immediate environment, your daily choices. That's where your power lives. Not in controlling the world, but in mastering yourself within it. This whole conversation comes down to one shift. Stop living reactively. Start living intentionally. Most people bounce through life responding to whatever comes at them. Reacting to emails, reacting to requests, reacting to problems, reacting to other people's urgency. That's a recipe for permanent stress. You're always behind, always catching up, always at the mercy of external forces. Relaxed people flip this. They decide what matters. They build their days around those priorities. They create space for what's important before filling up with what's urgent. They protect their time and energy like finite resources because they are. Your attention is the most valuable thing you own. Where it goes, your life follows. Guard it carefully, invest it wisely. Don't give it away to whoever asks loudest. Everything you've just learned comes down to this truth. Relaxation isn't weakness. It's the foundation of everything you want to build. The Stoics knew it 2,000 years ago. Your nervous system confirms it today. When you stop forcing, stop grinding yourself into dust, stop operating from desperation, you don't become less capable. You become unstoppable. But here's what determines whether this changes anything for you. Will you actually implement it? Or will you nod along, feel inspired for 20 minutes, then return to the exact patterns that have been draining you? Most people choose the latter. They collect information like trophies but never apply it. Don't be most people. Start with one thing tomorrow morning. Protect that first hour. Build in buffer time. Say no to something that doesn't serve you. Pick one. Do it consistently. Let it reshape your baseline, then add another. This compounds faster than you think. Your life isn't going to change because you watched this video. It changes when you make different choices. Starting now. Not when conditions are perfect, not when you feel ready, now. Because the life you want is waiting on the other side of the stress you're choosing to carry. Drop it. See what happens when you finally relax into your power instead of fighting against it. Everything shifts from there.